When marketing our business, we follow the AIDA formula: awareness, interest, desire, action, and retention. But there is one thing I think that underpins all of those strategies. Don't make me think. This week, I'm going to explain what that AIDA acronym actually means, give you a few ideas for relevancy in your business, and then finally explain to you what I mean by don't make me think. Welcome to JTInTheRaw, show 240, coming to you live, same time, same place, every single week, where I chew the thin on business, and after 31 years in business, I have just a few thins to chew. So good morning, good evening, and welcome to JTInTheRaw. Now, what has inspired this particular show today is that last night I had a long conversation with a client. I'm going to tell you about this a little bit later, who was seeking some feedback on a marketing piece that he was doing. So we had a really good, solid conversation about improving that. And I want to take you through the steps that this particular person went through to ensure his marketing piece was strong. But first, let's talk about marketing theory. Marketing theory. And marketing theory says this: we should use the acronym AIDA to build our marketing funnel. A stands for awareness, creating your brand or your company awareness or some sort of affiliation to your product or service. So let's tell people about who we are. That's the awareness side of things. Interest. That's generating interest in the benefits, not the features, but the benefits of your product or the benefits of your service. And when there's sufficient benefits, that should be suffice encouragement for that buyer to research further. Again, I want us to focus on benefits, not features. So benefits to your end purchaser. D is for desire. For your product, the desire for your product or desire for your service through that emotional connection. That's why we use benefits rather than features. We want to show our brand or our company or our department personality. We want to move our consumer, our potential purchaser, the prospect, if you will, from just liking us to wanting it, to wanting us, to liking a product, to wanting a product. A is for action. We all know that every marketing piece has to have a call to action. We have to move the buyer, the prospect, the person that's interested from interacting with our company, looking at our socials, reading our ad in the newspaper, seeing the Facebook ad, the Google ad. We've got to move them from that to doing something, downloading a brochure, making a call, picking up the phone and calling us, swinging by and checking us out, or even joining our newsletter. Potentially even buying from us. But we need an action. So once they've read it, once they've seen it, there needs to be that call to action. And finally, particularly in the fitness industry, there needs to be retention. In fact, any industry, we need to retain them because we want them to rebuy from us. So we know that one of the keys is that we need to upsell, cross-sell, get referrals, make them an influencer, perhaps have them as an advocate, and the list goes on and on and on. But our focus is to increase the lifetime value of our customer, the lifetime value of our new client, the lifetime value of our member. That's where we're heading. So now we know what AIDA stands for. How can this be applied to our marketing? Well, here are some key questions to ask yourself when you're putting a marketing piece together. Now, bear in mind, a marketing piece could be a letter, it could be a flyer, it could be a brochure, it could be a social media post, it could be an email. There's so many different ways of marketing these days. Bear in mind, these questions you should ask yourself. From an awareness perspective, how do we make the buyers aware of our product or services? What's our outreach strategy? What's our brand awareness campaign? What tools, what platforms are we using? What tools and platforms can we control that we are using? And what should that message be? So that's the awareness. We need to be asking those questions. When it comes to interest, well, how do we gain their interest? How do we stand out from the pack? What's our content strategy? Now, obviously, in this instance, social proof is important. Social proof will back our reputation up. Social proof so that somebody sits there and goes, that person's just like me. That is important in identifying an interest. Okay, D, desire. Desire. What makes our product, what makes our service desirable? Now, I love that word, desirable, really important, because it brings in that emotion. It's not what do we want, what do we need, it's what is desirable. Thanks, Jamie. You can use at the end of the AIDA, no problems at all, sir. So how do we interact? How do we have a personality with our brand to make that emotional connection? Is it online chat? Is it picking up the phone? Is it an immediate response on social media? Is it sharing tips, sharing advice, going that one step further than anybody else? How do we create that desire? These are all questions you want to ask yourself. A, remember, is for action. So what are the calls to action and where do we place them? Like, what do we want them to do? Now, it's easy for many consumers, many potential prospects, for us to connect. So where do they find that connection piece to us? We need to be thinking about our marketing channel, our marketing platform that you're using, and how do we want them to connect with us? Is it through email? Do we want them to go to our website? Do we want them to go to a landing page? Maybe we want them to pick up the phone and call us. Maybe we just want them to swing by and come into our physical facility. But we need to be clear what that action is. And finally, retention, the R in AIDA. What is the proposal to retain their loyalty? They've purchased once from us. What is our proposal for them to stay with us? Why should they stay? And what does actually staying mean for me as your customer? So they're questions you need to be considering when answering that AIDA formula in any marketing that you do. And all this is great. All this is fantastic. All this is valuable. And all this is evidence-based. Years of research have come up with this AIDA formula. But I believe there's one component to the AIDA formula missing, and it underpins everything that we do in marketing. It underpins in every message that we're delivering to both our prospects and even our current customers. Don't make me think. Don't make me think. So whatever stage you are in that marketing approach, don't make me think. At an awareness stage, don't make me think. At an interest stage, don't make me think. At a desire stage, don't make me think. At a call to action, don't make me think. And at a retention, don't make me think. Now, the barometer for this that I love to suggest is that use a 10, 11 or 12-year-old. If they can read your marketing piece, your flyer, your brochure, your poster, your email, your Facebook ad, and they can explain to you exactly what they need to do next after reading what they've just read, then I think you've nailed don't make me think. But if your 10, 11 or 12-year-old is going, oh, I'm not really sure what to do next, Mum, or not really sure what to do next, Dad, then you need to rework that marketing piece. See, in business, we design a marketing piece. We design it. And we get close to it. We love it. We're passionate about it. We're emotionally tied to this marketing piece. In fact, we are so close to this marketing piece, this marketing content, this marketing concept, that we don't see all the negatives to it. And owing to that emotion, we might not even want anyone to critique it. We own it like our firstborn child. This is the heir to the throne. This is the marketing piece that's going to work better than anything else. But it may not. And it's that critique could make that marketing campaign sink or swim. So let me give you an example of what I mean. I have one Rex Roundtable member who, as I said last night, reached out to me and reached out to the entire roundtable and said, here is my next marketing piece. What do you think? A, do you know what to do next? And B, is it clear enough? And immediately he got some very valuable feedback. Immediately, the call to action, perhaps not big enough. Perhaps it didn't stand out enough. Perhaps it wasn't clear enough. Great feedback. Why would you do a flyer with the call to action too small? Feedback that perhaps there was too much copy. Feedback that the image wasn't quite right. Feedback that didn't flow beautifully. Now, if he had gone to market with that marketing piece, it could have sank. And he could have wasted a whole lot of money. On the flip side, he shared it. He was brave enough to share his marketing piece with his peers, with people he trusted to give feedback. Now, I know we all don't have a Rex round table that we can do that with, but we need to be brave enough to be able to share the marketing that we're going to do and run it through the don't make me think filter with our peers. Now, I want to tell you about another person who spent around about $5,000 to $6,000 on a marketing piece. Design, print, and delivery. It was a direct mail piece. It went into people's letterboxes. Now, no, he didn't share this with anybody. He loved it. He thought it was the best marketing piece he had ever done. And it did. I saw it. It looked good. It looked beautiful. It was printed on beautiful stock. Everything about this marketing piece ticked the AIDA formula. Problem was, he didn't share it with anybody, so nobody could critique it. Nobody could look at it and make sure that everything on there was in fact included. And you know what? That marketing piece didn't have the address of the business on it. That client, me. That client was me. That person was me. Brand new business, put together a cracking brochure, ticked all of the AIDA formula. Problem was, important content missing, the address. Sure, the phone number was on there, and that's how I justified it to the shareholders, but the reality was the address was missing. We get so close to our marketing that we miss key components. I'm imploring you, I'm begging you, I'm counseling you, I'm suggesting to you, don't get emotionally tied to your marketing. Share it. Have someone look over it for you. Yes, make sure it ticks the AIDA formula. But more importantly, make sure that when I look at it and I read it, I know what to do next. Don't make me think. In business, marketing is not our job. Marketing is not our job. Marketing that works is our job. I hope you got some value out of today's show. I hope it resonated with you. Perhaps it challenged you. Perhaps it put you in an awkward situation because you were thinking, oh, gee, I haven't ever had anyone look at my marketing before it went to press. That's my job, to challenge you. So I want to give a shout out to Lockie for sharing his marketing with me and his Rex Roundtable. Well done, mate. Great courage to share that before going to press, before getting it printed and making what could have been a mistake. So if you got value out of today's show, I would be indeed grateful if you would hit the share button or tag anybody in the comments below that you think would get value from understanding marketing at a little bit deeper level, but not missing the most important component, which is don't make me think. So if you got value out of the show, hit the share button or tag anybody below. I'd be super grateful. So one final statement is this. In business, marketing is not our job. Marketing that works is our job. See you next week. Catch you on the flip side.